Good afternoon to everybody. This is One Accord Level 2 Podcast. Hope everybody's being blessed, safe, and well. Hope everybody's doing good. Many prayers for comfort, healing, strength, and peace to all who need it. So listen, Dr. Doom and the trailer's going to be coming out sometime relatively soon. They said they might release 4 different ones. So I've been sitting back here and I've been thinking, which that's what I do most of the time in my life anyway. What about our teams? When the Avengers first started and everything was being, mapped out and, Iron Man took off and, all the other extra things that was going on, we had a squad. Our 1A team was legit. Iron Man, Thor, Hulk, Captain America, Black Widow, Hawkeye. We had a squad. I mean, so, and even then our other people that we had on our team were also legit. You know what I'm saying? Falcon, all the other ones that we had on the team. The Guardians of the Galaxy, I know they came in late. Wanda Maximoff, her brother Quicksilver, even though he died in the movie. I mean, we had squads, man. We had people on our team. Ant-Man, he came along. Spider-Man, Black Panther, God rest his soul. We miss Chadwick so much. I was just watching some other clips on his when Black Panther first came out, and I remember going to the movies and seeing it with my family, and I was just like, this is epic. You know what I'm saying? So again, with that being said, look at what's happening. The Fantastic Four has been introduced. Okay, so they're in the building. X-Men kind of been around, but they're in the building. They might not be as loud, but they're there. We just don't know which capacity, what I'm saying, they're there. But they have been making making them appear in a lot of other different movies and cameos and stuff like that. Okay. Thor is with Guardians of the Galaxy, from what we still know. I'm just going by what happens after Avengers Endgame. Spider-Man done cast a spell a dozen bazillion times to say he didn't want nobody to know he's Spider-Man due to the aftermath that happened with Mysterio. Let's see. Iron Man's dead. Cap's old for what we know. Natasha's not here. Clint's retired. He can't even hear anymore. Hulk, he's somewhere floating around here. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we had people on Earth to defend Earth. They were there. They always was there. But now we kind of don't. So it's just like, it's going to take everybody to fight Dr. Doom. You see, and this is the problem that I have. So you want the good guys to win, obviously. But do you have enough players in the game? Oh, yeah, I forgot. You got Doctor Strange, Wong out there. You know what I'm saying? We had enough players in the game. Do Captain Marvel's out there floating around somewhere? We don't even know where she's at. Rhodey, if y'all remember, he got kidnapped by a Skrull. He's been in a freaking comatose state for almost 10 freaking years. So that leads to my other question. Does he really know that Iron Man died? Did somebody already fill him in on the details? If he was taken over by a Skrull? And he been in, like I said, he been in, locked in mentally in a different whatever state for 10 years? Yeah, that's also a question that needs answers. So I just want to know, who are we going to have to defend Earth? Is the Eternals, are they even still around? I know they made the movie, are we, and like I said, I'm not asking from a Marvel perspective, like where are the people. I'm asking from a, how is this movie going to go and the teams we're going to have going forward? Because we're going to need all hands on deck, bro. We needed to have half almost the freaking universe to fight Thanos. And look at what ended up happening. That ended up even though it was a win, but it really, because of him, it was a freaking disaster because he cut everything off at the knees. So, you know, we told them don't let him get the stones, and my man's been searching universes and different worlds and destroying places, and he eventually did get them all. Thor jacked him up though, twice, but even the Hulk really almost kind of jacked him up before he lost that fight. He was winning, but I'm just saying, it's too much. But what are we gonna do if they wanted to come to Earth right now? They could destroy half the world and there would be nothing we could do about it. And that's where Tony was coming into play. Tony was the man. Tony was the man. Tony was doing the thing. And Tony had protocols and contingency plans for stuff that's going on. Now I know Cap and Thor and Hulk and like I said, and Hawkeye and Black Widow, those were the other part of the other contingency plans. And even later with Spider-Man, Doctor Strange and all that stuff. But it's like, but the original, yeah, we had it, man. Like Tony was like, hey, if all else fails, I can call my friends. If I can't do it, then if I can't do it and I can't block them, all else fails, I can call my friends and we can and we just gonna be fighting. We gonna get down. This is gonna be a scrap. Like we used to be back in the schoolyard. Cats be fighting, be like, oh shoot, who all jumping in? Okay. So what about now? Can't nobody really jump in the fight. I'm not saying calls can't be made. I ain't saying, people don't know, saying what's going on, but what are we gonna do? Like, you know what I'm saying? Oh, and then I forgot about Vision because he was an integral part, because that's what Tony's other part of contingency plan was. If they come to Earth, like he said, we got people waiting at the front door and they might not make it in. So we got some heavy hitters in the game. Okay, understood. I get the mindset of him. Yeah, it makes sense. But like I said, what about now? Peter can only do so much by himself. He can only do so much by himself. Now, he can hold his own for sure. Yeah, Peter got that work, but he going to need some help. He's going to need a lot of help because if Dr. Doom is coming knocking on the door, they're not going to be playing no games. Doom, I think, is going to be 10 times worse than Thanos was. Thanos was bad. Like, I hated every minute of him destroying everything and his prowess, and he's got insane stamina, durability, the powers. He can use the stones and not use the stones. And he was kicking everybody's tail. And we didn't know, we had not faced nobody like him, in that sense. So even Ultron was a beast. But man, Thanos was like, hey, hold my beer real quick. I'm like, what? So yeah, we gonna have to figure out who our teams are and what it is we gonna do. We're severely lacking. And if I think what's gonna happen is what's gonna happen, guess what? A lot of people gonna die. A lot of people died with the Thanos thing. Some of them got brought back because of the the re-snap and stuff like that. But there's a lot of more people that's gonna die. And I haven't even seen the Fantastic Four movie yet, which I do want to see. But man, let me tell you, we in trouble. We got some work to do. And we're gonna have to get these teams because man, when he come knocking he might not even knock. See, Thanos was knocking on people's doors. He was just like I said, destroying planets, doing all this other extra stuff. And then he went on his, and he just kind of bounced around. It's like, I got this. Dr. Doom might not be doing all that. Because my question is going to be, who's going to be his first victim? Who's going to be the first person to die? Where is going to be the first place that he visits to get whatever that he wants? And then that's the other part. See, Thanos, stones. And pure dominance, and I want to rule the world. Well, what does Dr. Doom want? That's the scary part. It's not just about something. He might want multiple things. See, Thanos, he only wanted them 6 stones, and he wanted to erase half the universe, and he wanted to do his thing, Mistress Death and all that stuff. Well, Dr. Doom, what does he want? And that's scary when you're fighting a man and you don't know what he wants. And we're going to have to do that with him. So we're going to see what the plot's going to be. This is One Accord Level 2 Podcast. Be blessed, be safe, be well. Look up Avengers stuff. Look up Avengers Infinity War, Doomsday stuff. Make sure you check it out on YouTube. And I'll holler at you on the flip side.